Welcome to the Dirt Shed Show, everybody. Coming up this week, after getting back from Crankworx, we are going to be discussing game-changing moments in mountain biking.
Nice. We've also got a great running man challenge from Tom Cardy.
I noticed this amazing hack.
And a bit of a bodge from you, right, Rich?
Mm-hmm. All that and much, much more coming up this week. Right, yes, welcome back, everybody. This week, I am joined by none other than Froome's finest, Christopher Smith. All right, mate?
I'm good. You're right?
Yes, very good. Now, Chris, we were out in Crankworx the other day. Sadly, you weren't.
I know.
I was.
Gutted.
Next time. And something happened, something big.
Mm-hmm.
And it got me thinking about game-changing kind of moments in the world of mountain biking and freestyle almost in particular. And I thought, who better to discuss this with than Froome's finest freestyler, yourself?
Nice. There's definitely been a few moments over the years, haven't there?
There certainly has. Now, the moment I'm talking about is, of course, Tomas Lemoine's huge gap over the sort of on-off thing at the finish line of Crankworx. Have a look at it here. It is absolutely massive.
Crazy. I think the consequences for this thing is huge, isn't it?
Yeah.
If he was to go a bit too fast, well, he went a little bit fast because he goes quite deep on the landing on this.
Yeah.
But imagine just going too slow and just clipping your back wheel on the edge of that takeoff, going over the bars down that.
Yeah,
It'd be a
dude.
experience, right?
So basically, and what this was all the talk that everyone was going on. My social was just blowing up with clips of this left, right, and centre, wasn't it?
Yeah, I woke up socially. It was just literally Instagram was just full of it.
Exactly.
That's all I
So
saw.
what I was thinking is like that's actually pretty cool. Like going back to kind of an old school big old Huck like that. It almost sort of overshadowed actually amazing runs by first and second place. So Emil Johansson won it, Timothy Bringer in second, with almost robotic-like runs as he does. You almost become a bit like numb to that because he can just do that all the time. Whereas something like this was like,
Yeah,
where the heck did that come from?
It never gets old, does it, going big, I think?
No, exactly.
I don't know if you remember, back in 2004, I think it was, Timo Pretzel tried exactly that same move, jumping the whole box, but he jumped off and bailed at the last minute. I think he broke both his ankles from it. He got pretty messed up from it, but Timo was going for that move. So to bring it back, probably Lemoine probably saw that as well, and was just thinking about that in his head as well. Big demons to sort of battle with and launch out. Definitely some big stuff going on down there.
Yeah, big kahunas. It was
sure.
monstrous, but so going back further in time, if we think at the beginning of sort of the freeride evolution and drops, you've got Bender doing the jaw drop. That was it, where it's literally just a cliff.
So that was like probably late 90s, early 2000s, and this thing was probably, I think it's about 55 foot or something, the jaw
Massive.
drop. Massive for back then. You're talking over 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So the bikes back then, he used to ride a Carpio.
It had a twin shock.
Twin saddle seats on it. He used to wear motocross boots.
He did.
Everything, but I think Bender, you definitely got to give something to.
But that's sort of a moment that pushed it on, and then you carry on. You got Rampage comes in, and then you've got like the OG, so Vander and Bearclaw, Simmons, all those guys.
I think Bearclaw was definitely one of the big pivotal riders. He brought a lot of BMX influence and brought all the tricks into sort of off-road riding. He brought massive BMX influence. That big 360 he did at Crankworx quite a few years ago, back over the road gap. I can't remember what year that was, but that was definitely a big pivotal moment. And I think bringing that BMX style and the tricks, tail whip, spins, flips, and I think it really opened people's eyes as to what was possible on mountain bikes.
And then from there, we'll kind of stick with Rampage because it kind of, the next game-changing moment, almost the evolution of it, is where a few racers actually started crossing over. So racers were bringing like the speed and style aspect to it. So they were bringing kind of the speed down the mountain, but they were still going huge. So I've got a little list here. G. Atherton, Cedric Gracia, Glyn O'Brien, and Kyle Strait. All then started, Kyle Strait, you could argue, was actually in, I think he's done every Rampage, but he does race.
Definitely,
they throw in that different element to it, and it kind of
G's definitely done some big stuff on Rampage early on in the early days. I remember him on his...
Do you remember the big hip wall ride?
Yeah. With the Genie and Jack flags and stuff. I remember that.
Giddy,
huge. And some massive crashes as always, wasn't it? From
he doesn't disappoint, that fella.
But how about the robotic people that we've got coming into the sport and sort of kicked it off? I think Brandon Semenek was probably, I would describe him as a robot riding a bike, right?
In the nicest way, Brandon, robotic.
But so much style, and the tricks was simply next level, and all of his edits as well. I think they've, blown people's mind. And we've got the riders after that. I mean, we've got sort of Brett Reeder, and then that moved to Nikolai Rogatkin. Rogatkin, you've got Emil Johansson.
So that's just it, isn't it?
Those riders are simply, next level, aren't they?
That's the next sort of game-changing moment. It's this new breed of riders coming in, pushing on. So like you said, you got the Johanssons, the Reeders and that, which, you know, they practice tricks so much over and over that it just clicked every time. And you almost don't expect them to ever crash or
slip a pedal, even.
No, exactly. I don't want to say like out of their comfort zone, because it's wild what they're doing, but you almost expect it. So when someone like Lemoine comes on, it's just like, it's like, hang on, have we travelled back in time 20 years to just massive hucks and gaps? I think it's amazing.
Yeah, it's cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I think some of those other riders, you know, on the list that definitely have been game changers. I think riders like Danny McCaskill, Aaron Chase, Jeff Lenoski, all those people are doing the street hardtaily sort of trialsy stuff as well. I think those guys have done some pretty crazy stuff as well, haven't they? Too right. I tell you what, if there are any sort of mountain bike specific game changing moments that you can think of, why not let us know in the comments down below? Because, well, there's got to be so many out there. We've definitely missed some.
We're quite freeride focused here, but there are so many in our sport.
And stuff.
Let us know, down below.
Now, a great way of supporting us here on GMBN is by getting into the merch shop and checking out all the latest kit. And I hear we've got some good deals going on, right?
Yes, dude. We have got some absolute belters going on in the shop. There is up to 30%, mate, off selected items over in the shop. If you want to go check them out, click the link in the description down below. You'll be straight across to the shop where you can find some banging deals. But it is time for some fantastic news and sickest thing of the week. So over to you guys.
What's up, everyone? Loads happening in the mountain bike world once again this week. Breaking news here. According to the Swiss news website SRF, Matthias Flückiger, the XC Championship contender, has tested positive for an anabolic substance, Zeranol, and has been provisionally suspended with immediate effect. The test was carried out on the Swiss Nationals in June. 2 samples were taken, with A testing positive and the B sample still pending. More on that when we know it. Picking up where we've left off last week, we discussed dual slalom and the ADH. Now the event is concluded and we've got more results from Crankworx. Starting with a pump track where Caroline Buchanan and Adrienne Laurent found themselves on the top step once again. Strong discipline for both of them, the pump track. Thomas Lemoine and Geordie Scott took the win in the speed and style, whilst Jackson Golston and Vinnie Armstrong got most sideways to take the win in the whip-off. Closing event, Canadian Open, was a triumphant return for Troy Brosnan and Tracy Hanna, both the Aussies smashing it on a classic course in dusty conditions. Of course, missing out on the slopestyle here, but I'll get to that later and I'm sure you'll be able to think why. Onto the enduro racing now, where EWS made its debut in Burke, Vermont. A challenging looking course, high speed and relatively flat with those big chunky boulders thrown in, which had pros guessing when it came to line choice and consistency of traction, which is something you recognise that you really appreciate the moment that it's gone. Ella Connolly and Jack Moyer took pro stage wins on Saturday. It was all changed on Sunday though. Harriet Harnden securing a powerful 17-second lead from stage 1 and maintaining a time lead throughout the race. Morgan Shaw was in touch just over 30 seconds back and Bex Barona a close third. 3 front runners in the men's race, the big names Jack Moyer, Jesse Malamed and Richie Rude. It would be Richie taking the win by just 5 seconds over a staggering 32 minutes of timed racing. Jack Moyer second, Jesse third, all within a 23-second gap. Another debut round for the EWS this weekend is heads to Sugarloaf for the first time. Make sure you keep an eye on the EWS YouTube channel for all the highlights and more through the week. Gracie Hemstreet is the latest athlete to have picked up Red Bull sponsorship. The junior downhill shredder was surprised by Brandon Semenuk before the whip-off. She's won 4 downhill World Cups in her category this year and is the hot pick to take the world's jersey in Leger. Well deserved. Nukeproof have released a new bike, the Solemn. The bike is available in 2 lengths, regular or long, regular suiting those who may be at home on the pump track, and long for those who love dirt jumping. It's an alloy frame with 6061 triple-butted tubes and classic tried and tested dirt jump geometry. Frames available now for a penny under £500. Another bike launch announcement, Transition has announced that their mixed wheel 160mm Patrol will be on its way in carbon fibre this autumn. The carbon frame will be available in Battleship Grey and a Cherry Red, saving 2.8 pounds or 1.2 kilos over the alloy version. It also features fully guided seat post and derailleur housing. Okay, back to the slopestyle where Emma Johansson took the win with an insane amount of tricks and an unbelievable amount of bar spins to the tune of a score of 94.6. Tim Bringer went second for 91 and third place Tomas Lemoine. I'll let Toff take over from here.
Right, this week's sickest thing has to be this insane mega send from Tomas Lemoine at Crankworx last weekend. On this on-off box feature, he just decides to launch it over the entire thing. Absolutely so crazy. Now, this was actually attempted before, and people actually did it over the real small boxes in the first Boneyard, like Crankworx courses back in like 2002. But it wasn't until 2004, the first ever Crankworx contest, when a guy called Timo Pritzel decided to actually gap one. Obviously, he just like launched it to the sky and then just bailed out and exploded. A big shout out to Reese for getting the best angle on this, because Thomas doesn't actually just send it over. Like, it's way more complicated than that. He basically has to like race and squash the takeoff to even be able to bunny hop off like a bike length of wedge to even send it over this insane gap. And then obviously the like landing is just such insane impact. So yeah. Right, that's my sickest thing this week. Time to go back to the shed.
Thank you very much, guys. As always, great news. And Toff, very sick, as always. Yes. Do you know what it's time for now, though?
What is it?
Hacks and Bodges! Hacks and Bodges! Hacks and Bodges!
Let's have a look then. What we got?
Wow, the enthusiasm, Chris. Thank you. Right. First up, look at this. It's a fancy car. I'll give him that. So this is Stephen on location from Salbach with his YT Jeffsy strapped to the top of the car. He says, the off-the-shelf roof rack adapter seemed a bit flimsy to be able to drive my Porsche how it should be driven. Fair enough. So I came up with a solution of mounting the bikes upside down by clamping the handlebar grips with some stage lighting clamps, which are bolted solidly to the crossbars. Nice. 2 wheels fit in the back of the car, apparently, and fit himself. All his travel, less weight, less drag. This guy's travelling in style.
Yeah, isn't he? He's
very
nice. Speed and style.
Yeah, nice. I like that. I like that. Right, what have we got next, Chris?
Next up, we've got Daniel here. He's got a Scott Voltage. He's out in Ashby de la Zouch. With bearing presses being so expensive, I looked around the garage to see what I could use. And using a combination of a G-clamp, socket, and a bottle top screwed to a piece of wood, I was able to extract the knackered bearing. I think that's quite cool, but...
Hack or a bodge?
I don't know, you could just use a bigger socket the other side of that and push the bearing through with a smaller socket. Would be a bit more substantial, but could damage your frame, so maybe the bottle top is a better option. But
nice.
Like the thinking, I'm going to call it a hack.
Oh, okay, and next up we have Stephen with his Privateer 161 in Alpe d'Huez. Whilst out riding in the Alps, my dropper decided to pack in, leaving me halfway up a steep run, incapable of dropping the seat down. Nothing but bodging a few zip ties in place around an enduro strap to solve it, though. That is definitely a bodge.
Yes,
that is a bodge. Right, a stunt mug is winging its way to one of those people, but which one, Christopher?
I don't know, some good entries this week. I think I'm going to go with Daniel with that bearing press.
Daniel, congratulations. Imaginary stunt mug is on its way to you now. Caption contest time. Now, there was this picture of myself from last week.
What's going on there?
Well, I got caught in my trousers down, didn't I?
Literally.
Quite literally. Go on, read us out the first one, Chris.
Jason True saying, when one of your GCM buddies borrows your bike and you have to hitch a ride to get it back.
Hate it when that happens. Yeah. Callum Shepherd. Rich gets caught dancing to the Macarena as a pre-ride warm-up. Hey, Macarena.
Hey?
Yeah. It happens, it's a good warm-up.
Grant Welch is saying, Rich is outstanding on gravel.
Get it?
Like it, I like it. That's pretty...
Outstanding.
Yeah, I like it, I like it.
Who are we calling as our winner? Who's going to get the GMBN jersey?
Oh, it's on me again, is it?
It is, because you're the guest this week.
I think Grant Welch with that comment, that's pretty good,
I quite like it. It's quite a clever play on words. Congratulations, Grant. You have won yourself a GMBN race top. And here is this week's picture.
What the heck is going on?
I have no idea, but you guys out there, let us know. Drop your captions in the comments down below. Chris, some things that I liked this week, and you liked as well. First up, this one. Have a look at this. This is mental. Basically, someone snapped their handlebars and just jammed the two back together using a stick.
A branch from off of a tree. It's pretty crazy, right?
Yeah, so like just threaded it in one and just forced it in there. Same on the other side. Managed to get them home.
Not sure about that one, right?
Bit ropey, innit?
But I heard you had a bit of a sticky situation. Had to get some tape out the other day.
Yes, yeah, I did. So basically, my mech rattled off, essentially, clattered onto the ground. It snapped the little plastic clips. It was an Access mech that holds the battery on.
Right.
So I had to take it off. I snapped the chain in my hand, got down to the bottom and managed to bodge it together with some tape to hold the battery on, because obviously there was no clip. And it actually lasted the entire rest of the Whistler trip.
Nice.
I know.
Bit of a bodge or a hack.
That was definite bodge. But I did still manage to use the same chain and same link, power link, to put it back together. So that's reusing. And what's our third one? What have you got there, Chris?
I got this interesting one from Tom Cardy doing the running man alongside his bike. So you're riding along, jump off of it, and you ghost to your bike and almost run along, catch it back up, get back on and pedal off.
Old school trick. I quite like these. I think they look quite. They just look quite funny, like in the car park or whatever.
It's well good.
Now, Chris, I heard you're looking forward to Martin riding one of the wildest black trails that Whistler's got.
Yeah, on his bowhead. It's going to be pretty impressive, right? I followed him at Global Bike Festival down some of the trails there, some of the reds and the blues, and he's absolutely flying. So I can't wait to see what he does on a black one.
Yikes. Chris, it's time for the bike vaults.
Nice, my favourite part of the show.
Yeah, we're going to be dishing out some nices and some super nices.
Hopefully.
We've got the Horn Armed and Dangerous. So first up, we've got Javier and his 2022 Pivot Shadowcat in Ontario, Canada. Out with friends on our weekly Wednesday night ride. Been riding for over 20 years. That's quite a picture, isn't it? What do we think?
It's quite a picture, isn't it? And that can't be a waterfall in the background, I don't think.
No, bike's a bit on the piss, but he's, it's pretty nice. I like that, actually. I think I'm going to give it a super nice. What do you reckon?
Yes.
Sure. Oh,
You got the horn, Rich.
Oh, I have. Right, next up.
Got Maxim here. He's got a bespoke build from frame upwards. So this is a Marin. I thought it was an e-bike. It's not. It's one of those crazy ones. It looks like an e-bike, isn't it? Out of Maryland in the USA. Custom built wheels on Hope Pro 4. Loads of custom parts on it. A bit heavy, but super fun to ride. And it does look a super fun ride.
Yeah, lots of blue going on there. That's a nice for me. That's nice. I like it.
That blue cassette on the back, that easiest gear on there. That's pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, he's gone to town with the blue. I'll give him that. Nice, good one, Maxim. Very nice indeed. Right, next up, we've got Ryan and his Kotick BFE Max at his local spot in Delamere in the UK here. Just finished my new build, and this was from the first ride out. It's a size medium and a mixture of new and old parts. The colour really stands out. I'll give you that. It definitely does. That would work well with mine and Blake's helmets.
Wouldn't it? You've both got pink helmets, haven't you?
We do indeed. I got purple helmet now as well.
Have you?
Yeah, mental.
God.
What are we giving that though? A nice or a super nice?
A nice, I think.
Oh, it's a nice, good one there, Ryan. Next, who have we got?
Bit more hardtail action from Thomas. Got a 2021 Norco Fluid out in Chippenham Woods, so not too far from here. First serious mountain bike. Just got some Maxxis icons to suit the riding that I do, and made the step up to tubeless. And you've got tan walls as well, so good choice there. I think looks good on a black bike.
Super nice. Go on, give it a super nice, Chris. Oh, Thomas, lovely jubbly. Right, next up is Wesley's. Look at this Starling Murmur stainless in Melbourne, Australia. Just built this stainless steel Murmur up with all my favourite parts and love the look of it. That's a crazy parts going on there, isn't it?
Crazy to see a bike from Bristol out in Australia, isn't it?
True, yeah.
Nice looking bike though, nice
build. A lot of anodised purple going on. You've got some 36s up front. Is that 27.5? It looks 27.5 to me.
Yeah, I would say. That's a super nice.
Do you know what? Yeah, go on, give it a super nice, Chris.
Give it an old squeeze on the horn.
Right. Next up is this Nuke-Proof Scout V3 from Dolny Morava Resort. Yeah,
nice.
After I saw this video with Blake about hardcore hardtails, I decided to sell my Cannondale Habitat, and I built his first Nuke-Proof Scout. Look at that thing.
It's cool, isn't it? Buttercup, isn't it? Is that what Blake's is called?
I have no idea.
Nice looking bike. What are you thinking?
Well, I was going to say super nice. I'm going to give it a super nice. No, I'm going to super nice.
You're going to go butt.
Sorry, what?
Right, next up we got Jari here. He's got his Canyon Spectral 29er out in Finland, stripped down and fully serviced a bike, ready for the race next weekend. Clean looking bike.
I want to know what race now.
I don't know. Just says ready for the race.
I really like this, but it's almost camouflaged against the container in the background, isn't it? It's really hard to see.
Shadow's quite distracting on it as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it is a nice shot, I think.
That's a very nice bike. Well done. Look. Chris, this is old school.
It is old school.
This is really old school. So this is Rick's Kona Scrap, I believe they were. 26-inch single speed from Half Moon Bay, California. I mean, look at that thing, Chris.
Cool bike, isn't it, for cruising around. Got those Maxxis DTH tyres on there.
The old
tan
bombers.
walls.
Yeah.
Got a Chromag seat on there. Looks like it needs a little bit more tension on that chain, but got like a half-link chain on there as well. Nice looking bike, that, for sure.
Chris,
I think I'm going to give that super nice because it's old school and we love old school.
You are old school. All right, this next thing, look at this, a Klein. We don't get many Kleins on here. So we've got Ken with his Klein Attitude race from Brisbane. Just finished with a custom build, tricked out with Chris King, bottom bracket and headset, 26-inch wheels, DT Swisses, sun rims, wow, box components. Don't see many box components either, actually.
Don't do.
What are we thinking?
I think it's a great bike. It looks like it ticks all the boxes from commuting to getting out on the trails. Got some mudguard action going on. Ooh, I don't know.
That's a nice from me.
It's a nice from me.
It's a nice. Right, last but not least, Chris, what have we got?
We have got a bike from Chris.
Oh, nice one, Chris.
2021 Intense Primer out in Quebec in Canada. Extremely long climb to the top. That's my thought of wanting an e-bike getting in my head.
Don't do it.
Those thoughts, yeah, do it. Those thoughts soon disappeared once I reached the top. So
yes.
Nice.
Hey, Chris. Super nice. Ah. And that is it from the show today. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. Chris, cheers for joining me, mate.
No problem. It's been loving it.
It is. As always, send in your bikes and your bits and bobs into the uploader linked down below. But from us, for now, we're out of here. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. See ya.
See ya.